The illegal travel of Iranian trucks into the Karabakh region is not happening for the first time. This is something that has happened over and over during the occupation period. With this in mind, we are expressing our dissatisfaction to the Iranian side via various channels, but this process continued.
Let's go to the U.S. capital, Washington, and speak to Michael Doran, a former senior director of the National Security Council under the George W. Bush administration, and now at the Hudson Institute. Michael, thanks so much indeed for your time. I mean, clearly, Azerbaijan's President Aliyev is on a PR campaign. I've just seen him on one international network. The interview that we did was with Anadolu Agency, Turkey's main news-gathering operation. So who's he trying to convince, and why is he so upset about trucks going through Karabakh?
Well, Iran is an ally of Russia and of Armenia. It doesn't openly admit that it's Armenia's ally because it has a large Azerbaijani minority in Iran. As many as 1/3 of all Iranians are of Azerbaijani background. And so Iran dissimulates and pretends that it has solidarity with its fellow Shiite brothers in Azerbaijan, when in fact it is allied with Armenia. So it's a much bigger issue than just trucks. During the war, Russia, which couldn't resupply Armenia over Georgia because Georgia closed its airspace, had to resupply Armenian forces by going across the Caspian and then across Iranian territory up into Armenia. So it's a bigger geostrategic issue here than just those trucks. What President Aliyev wants to do is he wants to raise awareness in Turkey, who is for Azerbaijan is the major counterbalance against the Iranians.
Is there any logistical justification, a strategic justification for having these military exercises so near the border with Azerbaijan, or is it just bullying?
It's just bullying, and it's also taking advantage of American policy. America is the Biden administration is engaging Iran, has sent a very clear message that it wants to find a strategic accommodation with Iran. And a kind of basic rule, I think, for Azerbaijan is that when the Americans come begging the Iranians, it's bad news for Azerbaijan. It opens up an opportunity for Iran to flex its muscles a bit more. I think also the point that Ubay Shahbandar made in your report just now about the Zangazor corridor it can't be exaggerated, the importance of it to Iran. From the Iranian point of view, that corridor across Nakhchivan from Turkey to Azerbaijan, that's a Turkic corridor that will completely block that if it turned into a kind of political unit or a political border and not just an economic corridor, would completely surround Iran with Turkish power on the north. I guess not surround Iran, but it would mean that there'd be a kind of unified Turkic border all across the all across the north of Iran. And that's very alarming to the Iranians because of the ethnic issue inside Iran.
Michael, we know that a lot of Iran's foreign ventures are often, it says, in reaction to Saudi Arabia or Israeli actions. What about this allegation that Azerbaijan is cooperating militarily with Israel and that's upset Tehran?
Oh, well, that's definitely an important factor here. No doubt about it. The Israelis and the Turks were the primary foreign backers of the Azerbaijani military in their victorious war to liberate the territories in Karabakh. And a lot of analysts have assumed, nobody has any evidence, but a lot of analysts have assumed that the success of the Israelis in targeting Iranian nuclear facilities and other sensitive sites, missile sites and so forth, inside Iran is a result of their relationship with the Azerbaijanis, who have tremendous reach because of the Azerbaijani minority inside Iran. There's no way to know whether that's true or not. But it cannot, if you're sitting in Tehran, it can't make you comfortable that the Israelis have such a close relationship with Baku.
Michael, always appreciate your analysis. You know that. Michael Doran speaking to us from Washington. Take care.